Today is Sunday, September 7th, 2025. And I'm Maddie. And today we're going to do a little bit of work on our game. I feel like I have a little more clarity on things. So we're gonna just push forward with that. I narrowed down to the items that I wanted to do in terms of interactable stuff. And here it is. There's basically two categories, each one with three different actions. So we have the equip action, which is to put it in hand. This is tricky because, well, I'll get to it in a minute. So we have equip, we have the store option, which puts it in your inventory. I think that has to assume, let's see, item. Oh, I guess the item doesn't have to be equipped, right? And then a drop in order to drop an item. So, and that's obviously to just drop an item on the ground. And then we will have the primary action, which for like a gun, that'll be shooting. For a knife, that'll be stabbing. We'll have the secondary action, which for a gun will be like trying to hit somebody with the butt of the gun, or with a knife, trying to hit somebody with the butt of the knife. And then the throw action, which is self-explanatory. Okay. And of course, not all items will be able to do all these. Will be able to do all these things. So now we have this interact. So I did separate it into interactable, and then we have item interactable, and then we're going to have character interactable. This is already getting tricky. Okay. So let's try to not break what we already have, right? Obviously for like character interactable, so they're going to have, okay, I changed this to hover text, and this is going to be the same. I think I can just comment these out. Let me look at the compile, because I'm going to get compiler errors, I'm sure. Yeah, friendly NPC does not implement interface member hover text. And for some reason, I called it help text. I think hover text makes a lot more sense, so we'll just change that. Drawer interactable. Okay, yeah, so this is going to be hover text. Basically, anywhere there's help text, it's going to have to be hover text. No suitable method found for override. Hover text get string. Huh. Now, I know that my class design, this is really messy right now, but I think it's okay. Is the issue that hover text is in... wait a minute. I think I know what I need to do. I think I need to do this. Is that what I need to do? Item, okay, I think that is what I needed to do. Item entity help text. So I need to do dot hover text. Lamp, I need to do the same thing for lamp interactable. Yeah. It helps when you actually save the file, right? The modifier public is not valid for this item. Why? Why? The modifier override 3930. Let's see. Let me look at this. Why? Okay, I have another idea. Maybe what we'll do... I'm not sure I quite follow that compiler error. So for some reason, I think it doesn't like the fact that this friendly NPC derives from item interactable. Item interactable itself is an interface that implements the interactable interface here. I think that's causing issues. So let's try my theory. And what we'll do is we'll remove the comments. We'll put hover text here. Okay. And now we're going to have to remove all of these. Right? So, no. Okay, so we're going to have to remove that. There's only a few of them. Remove that and that. Oh, shit. It wasn't exactly what I thought it was. Okay. Okay, we need to remove this one. Okay. So let's see. Okay, I gotta get this. Let's see if this works. Did it even try to compile? An explicit interface declaration is not found among members of the interface that can be implemented. So, oh wait, I didn't save it. Okay, that's a little bit better. Friendly NPC, no suitable method found. Why? Did I save that? Yeah, I did save that file. But why is there no suitable method found? No suitable method found to override. Item interactable. Okay, let me do this too. So basically all I did here is just rename interactable to item interactable. And then rename hover text as well. But why would there be no... I remember running into this very early on with my journey to write a game in Unity. Now, base NPC doesn't have anything interactable, does it? Oh, it might. No, I'm hearing character entity. Character entity has no... Game entity. Okay. Oh, Matthew, welcome. Remove override. But I want to override. And why would I now suddenly have to remove override? Let's see. I'm going to try it anyway. Item interactable does not contain a definition of help text. Okay, so that's a different error. So you're right, but I'm really confused. Let me look in master to make sure, because, okay, where was that? That was in friendly NPC, line 34. So if I look on master, assets, what folder? Scripts, friendly NPC. Scripts, friendly NPCs, friendly NPC.cs, line 34. Oh. Oh, okay. There is no override. Interesting. Okay. All right. All right. I don't know how the override got there then. I guess I put it there. I mean, that would only be the only explanation. We don't need the keyword for interface implementations, which I guess that makes sense. Okay. Okay. So we have no errors. So now let's go back to trying to do what I was doing. So let's see. And this is just slowly massaging things how I want them, step by step, making sure we compile along the way. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove hover. I'm going to put hover text into that base class. Now I do have a feeling this is going to give me an error, and this is where I might have to put that iInteractable.hover text, but I don't. But maybe not. I don't know for sure. No. Okay, that's good to know. All right, and then I think it makes sense to have the focus and defocus events or methods in the base class as well. Okay, that's good to know. All right, now, what do we do now? What do we do now? So I think items are going to be this. I think items are going to have this kind of static menu that's really not. The only thing that's really going to change about the item menu is that some things will be disabled depending on the item itself. And then I think this more dynamic interact, I think that's more suitable for NPCs. It may not even be suitable for NPCs, honestly. But throw. I wanted to type self-explanatory. Okay. Then, okay, so now before I do much of anything else, I know I probably have an NPC defined as an item interactable. I want to change that. Friendly NPC, yeah, item interactable. I'm going to change it to character interactable. That's going to create issues, but it should be okay. Excuse me, it should be okay if I... Honestly, the interact probably should be in the base as well. So this is probably okay. But is there anywhere where I'm like, okay, yeah, where I'm like doing a hit collider for item interactable? Check interactions. Okay, so this has probably broken. Let me test my theory. This looks like it will probably break being able to talk to green guy. I should still be able to interact with the gun and the doors and the lamps, but I think I've broken green guy, but I want to make sure it's broken. I know how to fix it, but I want to make sure it's broken first, because if it's not broken, then I'm not understanding something. So yeah, green guy has no hover text, but the gun does have hover text. Excellent. Perfect. Okay. And then this is fixed by just doing the base class, check interactions, and this is the code that's actually extending out the raycast, and then it's looking for anything that is interactable, and then it's going to call interact on it if you press the E. If you press E. Okay, and let's make sure we have fixed it with green guy. Compiler error. Cannot implicitly convert type interactable to item interactable. Okay, where am I trying to do that? Ah. Okay, that should be good now. Did you recompile? Oh. Okay, so current focus. Okay, so current focus needs to be an iInteractable. Okay. Is there anything else? Let me look up item interactable. No, there is nothing else. Okay. So let's see if we compile. Okay, we're compiling. Let's check. I feel like something recently changed in Unity where it'll compile in the background even if it doesn't have focus, but I feel like before I left for my my summer trip, I feel like it would only compile when it was in focus. Am I imagining that, or did something change? Because it's almost like I'll make a change to a file, and then it will compile in the background. Something like change. There's an option to choose when it compiles. So somehow I must have turned it on so that it only compiles. Yeah. So that it will compile in the background, which I like it compiling in the background. It is a little annoying at times, like when I try to switch task to Unity and it's in the middle of something. It basically it's busy, so it won't give me focus. Okay. I remember implementing this. This annoyed me because we call clear focus over and over and over and over. That's a potential optimization point at some time. No, I got to resist the urge to do it now. Yeah, but so like when we move the raycast away from something that has no hover text, we clear focus, right? We hide the help text or the hover text, and then we change. I think like we change the crosshair image, whatever we do. But I wanted to get it. There was. I'm trying to remember what the problem was, because there was difficulty because I was like, okay, well, I should only have to call clear focus once. Where if I have focus and then I can say, oh, I can store that. Should be able to store that in a member variable. Basically, like think of it as like a Boolean, like has focus, and the Boolean is true. And then when I lose focus, there was something I couldn't do, but the logic kind of makes sense. I could be able to detect when the Boolean switches to false, and then call clear focus, and then in the next update, I should see that it was false before, so I don't have to call clear focus again. Something like that. But I ended up just kind of cheating and this actual clear focus will get called constantly. Okay. So let's check this code in. I have about an hour and 10 minutes of work I can do before I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm going to start with my DiGiorno pizza. I'm going to put that in an oven, and I'm going to get ready for a football game. I'm pretty excited. Okay, let me see. So that's just changing help text to hover text. This is kind of a little bit more. I just got finished refactoring my inventory system. Took a couple of days, but I now have a BG3 inspired inventory. Multiple movable windows dragging in one inventory to another. What is BG3? Oh, battle. No, wait, don't tell me. BG3. I want to say Battlestar Galactica, but I know that's not it. BG3. Battle. Is it battle? No. What's the first word? Tell me the first word. Because I don't think it's battle. So it must be BG3. I want to say like Battlegrounds. Or no. Oh, Baldur's Gate. Okay. Yeah, okay. Baldur's Gate 3. I've never played Baldur's Gate. I have no idea. But now I'm curious. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never played it. Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to look at the inventory specifically. Inventory management. Let's see.
Baldur's Gate 3 is an incredible game. I've been playing it non-stop since it came inventory on its own. But what you can do is all these little bags that you find, these little pouches, the burlap sacks, the backpacks, you go over and you loot them, and it might be like, one small item or like 2 gold, things like that. And then you just move on. But what you can do is you can pick them up. You can manually right-click and pick them up. And all of these little bags and all of these little sacks, you can open it up, and then you can store things of a certain type. And something you can pick. You can then add all those to where directly to camp. So but yeah, you can dump all of your camp supplies.
What kind of game is this? Is this like a resource management game, or like I don't know anything about games. I just know yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about games. I just know it's like art. I know what I hate. I don't know much about either, but I know what I hate. My dog has been pissed off at me. He's been pissed off at me. Like he's just been ignoring me. Last night he was sleeping in my wife's bathroom, and I'm like, well, maybe he misses her. I don't know. Okay. So this is just changing a bunch of things, and then I guess we'll stage this. Yeah, I guess we'll check everything in. Okay, renaming things, preparing for a refactor. How do you spell your dog's name? Mulan. Okay. What is this? I forget what comment I made. Oh, this is the no escape. This is okay. So I made a comment. I guess I made it 2 months ago. I like to imagine. So the movie No Escape, like, okay, well, let's watch the trailer. This is probably copyright, but whatever. You know, again, it's a non-monetized channel.
10 years ago, I could not have pictured myself dragging my family to the other side.
Now, keep in mind, like this is filmed in Thailand, though they keep it very like generic Southeast Asian country. So they never really say it's Thailand or Cambodia or whatever. They just keep it very like they never specify.
The world to start.
So Owen Wilson, he's moved his family across the world.
Over.
What if we don't like it here?
I think we will.
Welcome to Asia.
And there's Pierce Brosnan in this movie is my spirit animal. Like he is who I want to be when I'm like in my like early to mid 60s, which isn't that far.
You're gonna love it here.
Fun fact, all the writing is actual Thai. Or what did my wife say? It's Thai script, but they wrote Laos words in Thai script and then turned it upside down.
What did you see outside?
Get your hands off me!
There's like a war going on out there.
We're gonna die here. Listen to me.
Oh, such a good movie.
Where's Lucy? Stay here, lock the door. Lock the door.
Lucy! Get out of the pool! Come here!
And all that. So this was filmed in Chiang Mai, Thailand, where my wife is from. And when they're speaking, they're actually speaking Thai, even though the script is not Thai. And also notice there is very little yellow used. And that's because yellow apparently is a royal color in Thailand. And Thailand was like, you can film this movie here, but you can't say it is Thailand. And you can't like use the royal character. You can't use like the royal family's character or likeness, and nor the color yellow.
Go, go, go!
We're gonna get through this, okay?
Get your head down! Look out!
I mean, honestly, as I'm watching this, I'm like, this is a video game. Like I can see this, right? Like you got to get to the top and then a helicopter and you'll see what it do. But
You're alive, Jack.
you can turn this into a video game.
So Get your family the hell out of here.
We gotta get ourselves to the American Embassy. We can do that.
I want to go home.
We're gonna get there.
Oh, it's like, so one of my other favorite movies is Behind Enemy Lines, also with Owen Wilson. And so I like to pretend that this is Owen Wilson after, like, the same character from Behind Enemy Lines, just like 20 years later. Now his family now he's in this trouble. And then Pierce Brosnan, I also like to pretend that in this movie, Pierce Brosnan's character, he's a retired 007. He was he was James Bond for a little while, but then he retired, and now he's just traveling through Southeast Asia, going to strip clubs in sweatpants, which it's a reference in the movie. Anyway, yeah, this is exactly. I like to imagine that Behind Enemy Lines and GoldenEye, the other Pierce Brosnan 007 movies, and other are all the same universe. After Behind Enemy Lines, Owen Wilson left the military, got married, and had 2 kids. After his stint with the British Special Forces, Pierce Brosnan started traveling to Southeast Asia because he liked the weather and the women. So that's my I like to pretend that. I like to think that. But anyway, but yeah, like the movie, it's like that's kind of what that kind of like sense of urgency to like kind of want to save your family, like that's kind of like, although the setting is going to be very different, but that's kind of, I don't know that's kind of where like inspiration is. I'm not going to say that like we're going to base the game off the movie, but it's that inspiration. Okay, but of course we need to get an inventory working first. That would be helpful. Alrighty, so how do we do this? Okay, where are all the things that have a hover text? So one thing I'm a little confused at is okay, lamp and drawer are a good example. So let's see, I'm going to put drawer down here. Okay, they do have interact. Excuse me. Oh, okay. So what we need to do is we need to have lamp and drawer and gun also. I guess pistol is just using a generic. No, actually. Okay, so pistol is using the generic item entity functionality, right? So you have the hover text, press E to interact, and then interact, the generic. This actually does load up a menu and all of that. Okay, let's think about this. So we would have a static menu, kind of, for items. I guess we would for NPCs too. Let me think about this for a second. We're going to get there. You know what? I think by the end of next week, we're going to have, we're going to be able to put something in inventory. How's that sound? Is that a good goal? I think that's a good goal. The problem is I work so slowly. I get distracted so easily. And like at work, I don't program that much anymore. So it's not even like I get to exercise that muscle at work. Like it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse. Like it's gotten worse in the sense of how little I program at work. That has gotten worse. Yeah. Did we do any work on the inventory already? No. But this is leading us to work on the inventory. This is work that has to be done before we can like do the inventory. Okay. So I think what we'll do is we have to go with item data. And then we need, where did it go? So we will have, okay, item interactable, which I think probably should be called interactable, but I'm going to leave it like it is for now. I feel like a bit mask is I feel like a bit mask would do well here. Or you could just do it with a bunch of Booleans, right? Because basically what I want to do is I want to be like, is equipable, you know? What is this? No, it's not a function. It would be literally a Boolean. Yeah, get. My computer's. And then bool is droppable, right? And then we could do all 6 of them. There's 6 in total. There's equip, there's droppable, there's equip storable. Bool is storable, and then okay, so this is where it gets a little tricky. So I said primary, secondary, and throw. So we could have bool is throwable. If something is droppable, do you think is droppable and usable? No, I'm sorry. Is droppable and throwable redundant? Like if I can drop would there ever be a case where I can drop something that I can't throw? Or throw something that I can't drop? In which case, actually, I think okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. I think droppable and throwable both are not even needed. Because if it's equipable, I can throw it and I can drop it. Now, if throwable, it could cause damage to enemies. Droppable, it just puts it on the ground. Yes. So what I'm saying, the question is not what they do, right? I'm not suggesting that throwable and droppable do the same thing. I'm suggesting that maybe I don't need something that says whether or not it's droppable or throwable. I'm thinking if you can equip an item, and in my mind, so let me be a little more clear. Equip. This means you can hold in your hand. And then storable is you can put into your inventory. Okay. So I'm thinking if you can hold something in your hand, like a pistol, a knife, a radio, a cell phone, you can throw it and you can drop it and you can even wield it. So if it's equipable, you can do those things. Now, we might need functions obviously the functionality to throw is going to be different than the functionality to drop. Yeah, but you can do all of those things. Okay. Yeah, I think that's good. I think so. Really, we just have equipable, storable, and then we will have. Now, I'm just going to write this out just so we have it, but this probably will not be how I do it. But like has primary action. Like I'm just typing it out so I can like see it in my mind. Has primary action. Get. And bool has secondary action. We're going to do these are just here for now for illustration. Okay. So like when you're ever like working your way through a design or something, do you ever like write it out in pseudocode instead of like trying to modify the code to do what you want? You're like, well, let me first understand exactly what it is I want. And I'll do that often. And then I'll just kind of like, especially like if I'm trying to like have like a class use another class and I'm like, well, let me write out how I would like to use this API. And then I will type that out in pseudocode and then that will help me understand what it is I want to have the other class do. Okay, anyway, so that's kind of what I'm doing. Absolutely, really helps. Yes, it does. Absolutely does. Okay, so, all right. Okay, oh, this is the item data. Durr. Okay, so these will... Okay, would there be a time when something is equipable but not storable? Yeah, I think so. Like maybe, like if you pick up a couch, like or chair, right? Like maybe you can pick up a chair. Yeah, you can pick up a chair, but you're not gonna be able to put a chair in your backpack. That kind of thing. Okay, so that makes sense. So I'm just going to do equipable. Equipable. Bool storable. Okay. So this is on the item data. Put that there. Now I also got to remember, if an item is on the ground, what can I do with it? I can equip it. I guess you could say we could store it. I got to think about this. This is tricky. This is tricky. You know what? Why don't we come back to the items? Because I think actually the NPC might be the easiest one, the easier of the ones to do. And the reason I say that is because the NPC, we already have a dynamic way to add actions to an NPC menu. So you probably you might want to have NPCs do different like capable of different things. I'm trying to think of an example. Like no, I don't know. All I can think of are non-friendly family examples. So I'm not going to say those examples. All right. We're going to come back to item interactable, and I want to change character interactable because, see, it's got this whole nice interaction system. Do interaction. This is copied from item interaction.cs. Should be refactored to some base common class. How did I do this? We have item. We have interaction manager. Excuse me. A lambda? Okay. All right, so do I have I guess I have a canvas in here. Let me see. Oh, interact menus. There it is. I'm trying to remember what it is I did. Like, I don't remember how I did this. So how did I do this? How does this work? Okay, so I have the interaction manager script that I attach to interact menus. And then I just added various UI components to it. Crosshair button panel. Oh, I already clicked that one. Help text. Okay, so I guess... And then it's all inactive, right? No, this is active. I guess everything under it is inactive. Okay, yeah. So if I do this... Okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay. So there's actually two. There's one for NPC, there's one for items, and then there's the button panel. Okay, so what do I want? don't know. What do I want? There's a lot of things I want. Well, the menu portion will be the same. Like, the menu itself will be the same. So I feel like some of this should be pulled out of this because, I mean, yeah, to do this is copied from item interaction, should be refactored into a common base class. Yeah. And you ever like write code and then, so my buddy David, he's like, back when I would go drinking with him quite a lot, it was so funny because he would, we'd be out drinking and he'd be like, and I would ask him, I'd be like, David, like, don't you have to be up tomorrow? Like, I mean, like the bar's getting ready to close, which means it's almost 2:00 in the morning. We're wasted. And you have to be up at like 7 a.m. And his answer was always, that's tomorrow Dave's problem. Fuck that guy. That guy's a dick. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah. It's not that Dave's problem. It's tomorrow Dave's problem. And fuck that guy. I love that answer. That's tomorrow Dave's problem. It's not my problem. That's tomorrow Dave's problem. So when I do things like this, where I'm just like copy the code, I'm like, you know what? That's future Addy's problem. Fuck that guy. I'm going to let him deal with it. That's what this reminds me of. Okay. So before I really do this, I want to understand how this all works. And I don't understand how it all works. Do interaction. Now, this is interesting. I do have open the menu, and then I pass in the item data's interactions. So for items, I would pass in like what I can do with the item, which is the same with NPCs. So actually, it might make sense that they're actually separated out like this. Actually, I think it does. Okay, this do interaction is probably identical, though. So I use the singleton with interaction manager, instance on interaction. We might be okay. Maybe there's not like a ton of refactoring required here. Although like I said, I'm not crazy that this is in friendly NPC. I do feel like it should be somewhere else, but maybe it's fine. I mean, I could. What's another option? I mean, I could put it in character interactable. Actually, that's not a terrible idea. Let me think about that for a second. So these are interfaces right now, but these could be base classes, item interactable, character interactable, and that's where the menu functionality for the interactions are handled. Nah, maybe not. Maybe. Let me see. So this is on start interactions. Okay, so we start up. We create actions. Wait, why do I do it like that? I don't need interaction data. No, I definitely don't need interaction data. Where's open menu? Where's open menu defined? Open menu, interaction manager. So I pass in a list of interaction data, and then I go through and I use the interaction data to just create the menu. However, all open menu really needs is the class. And then from the class, I should be able to look through the methods, see which ones have an item action. And then I have the little description here, but I should just be able to have another attribute or maybe even add a second argument that is just the description. Okay. So in that case, I would say open menu, and I would actually do this. I would just pass it this, like open a menu of options for this thing, right? That's what I should be able to do. So, and then item, yeah, I'm getting stuck on refactoring something that's not really related to. Oh, it kind of is related. It cleans up some mess is what it does, right? Because I should be like, here we are in item and the item entity, and a wait. And I gotta remember, not every interaction will be driven through the menu, right? Like to turn on a lamp, it's going to be annoying if you have to open up the menu and to click turn on. No, you wouldn't like shortcuts. You probably want like a shortcut for the primary action. You want a shortcut. Oh, this is too difficult. All right. Yeah, I need to start keeping a list of things to do. Okay, let's put this back as it is for now. So okay, without getting distracted, Addie, what is it I want to accomplish within the next 45 minutes, if I can, or at least start working on in the next 45 minutes? What I want to start working on is if I go over to this gun, if I press E for the interaction menu, what options should I see? I should see equip. I should see store. And that's it. Right? That's all I should see for now. And let's just accomplish that. Let's just get that menu. Let's just get that working. Okay, perfect. Now, that doesn't have to be driven through the pistol interaction, right? I think I have a pistol interaction. Yeah, equip. I mean, honestly, that is going to be generic functionality that could be driven through item interaction. It should be driven through item entity. All right. What about cancel close if we decide not to interact with it? God damn it, Matthew. God damn it. Always just got to throw a goddamn English wrench into things. God damn it. Let me see. Can I even do that right now? I think I can. Yeah. So I can cancel right now just by hitting escape. I guess I added that in the item in interaction manager. Let me look. Yeah, right here. If on input, yeah, if you hit escape, then you close it. Okay, so I think escape, I mean, just escape is fine. All right, so pick up and equip. I don't even have to implement pick up and equip. I just want the menu to show up with those things in a generic way that makes sense. So that means let's start with the pistol. So we do have pistol item data. And so we need to know that we can pick it up. And that's it. Equipable. Because we decided if it's equipable, it's storable and throwable and wieldable. And then primary action and secondary action. Those are really the only things, right? Something... Okay. So... But if it's equipable, we want to show a menu that says it can go right to the inventory. Wait a minute. We will have things that are not equipable but usable. So a computer, for example. I can't pick a computer up. I can't store it. Oh, and I did say, didn't I say that, like, yeah, you could pick up a chair, but you can't store it. So you can have something that's equipable and storable. A computer is neither, but it would have a primary action, which is to use. That's interesting. Okay, let's just start with equipable and storable. We can deal with the computer scenario in a minute. All right. So if we would want to go to our scriptable object, where did it go? Common environment friendly. I know I have a thing for scriptable objects. I thought I had a folder for scriptable objects. What folder is pistol item data in? Assets items. Oh, okay, it's not in scripts, it's in items. Okay, so pistol 1, right? Here's the scriptable object. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to put it in, I don't want to put that in pistol item data. I want to put it in item data. Yeah, I when I did that, I was like, didn't I do this already? Okay, so here is where it should go. Okay. So I should get a little checkbox. Right? Oh, and I even made the interactions as part of the... Oh, okay. Actually, maybe... I don't know. Okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. Where is my little... Do I have to do something? Why isn't my little checkbox showing up? Here, I'll move it because I know the screen's covering part of the... But here, like item name, damage score, prefab. Actually, I could just do this. Target collision layer. Equipped position, equipped rotation, interactions, and then I should have... Do I have to do something? Make public. Oh. God damn it, Matthew. Always being right. Didn't even notice that. All right, there we go. So the pistol is equipable and it is storable. Okay. Now, what do we want to do with that? So an item entity, that's where we do this. Okay. So I don't know that we actually need this like whole interaction song and dance here, right? Well, we could use it. Okay, where's my constructor? Did I have a constructor here? Maybe I don't have a constructor. I guess I don't have a constructor. No, I don't. Okay, so we'll make one. Item entity. And then I can look at friendly NPC. Now, you know, I also want to think about things like interactions. Like, I just thought of something. Like, if I kill an NPC, or even if like one of my family members dies, I might want to loot that body. But that should be okay, because we should be able to manipulate the interactiveness of objects during runtime. As long as we have access to the item data, then we do, because we're going to use the item data. Okay. Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay, so item entity. So what I'm recommending is we do this. So basically, item data. If all right, let's see what AI came up. If item data is equipable, so we take equip. Take equip is storable. Okay, so this should just work like this. It should just work. Obviously, those items are not going to do anything, but it's okay. No, we got compiler errors. The name interactions does not exist in the given context. Oh, okay. I see. Can interfaces have data members? In C#, can interfaces have data members? Or member variables? Let's see. In C# defines cannot contain instance data fields. Okay, so it cannot. But I think what we can do, I think it makes sense to do item interactable. This may or may not make sense, but I'm kind of leaning towards it doesn't make sense, but it's okay. There is some cleanup to do. Like now I'm starting to think like, do I even need these do I really need the interactable? Yeah, I do need the interactable because I mean I'm going to have to be able to tag objects as being interactable or not. Okay. But then I'm like, okay, well, interactable things will have interactions. Should this just be a class? And then put that into the base class. I will have to distinguish between item interactable and NPC interactable, but I can probably do that in the friendly NPC class and in the item entity class. So I'm starting to think that like these aren't going to be needed. Like I'm starting to think that what I have highlighted can be deleted. Maybe. No. Maybe. No. Maybe. I'm going to write myself a note. To do. Can item interactable and character be can be deleted. Remember to tell Matthew that he's a dirty Englishman. All right, so we'll come back to that. All right. But yeah, I think they probably can be deleted, but we're gonna let's try to keep this moving forward. All right, so then I can do this. I can delete these. Those are public, so that should be fine. And then in item entity, I should be able to delete the one in item entity. Oh wait, I never added it to item entity. Okie dokie. Item data interactions. Ooh. I put the item interactions on the item data, but actually that might not make sense. That may not make sense. Right? This to do, is this really needed? What was the error? Class item entity cannot have multiple base classes. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Because you could have a game entity that's not interactable, so it needs to be an interface. Oh, okay. Okay. So what we do is we go back to having this be an interface. We go back to this being an interface. Because we don't have multiple inheritance, we can just comment this. Well, let me copy that. Comment that. So each one will have to have a thing here like this. Are you excited about the sports ball? Are you excited about sports ball, Matthew? I know you. I know you're gonna have to watch the Commanders game. Commanders. I should stream on some like pirate streaming station. I have the game up in the corner while I'm talking on it. Okay. There's like been a rise in the past few years. I'm sure this happens in European football, or as we Americans call it, soccer. But there's been a rise of like independent commentators where they obviously they're not broadcasting the game, but like the idea is like you watch the game with them, and like they're like Tom Grossi, I think. He's a really funny guy. DeGrossi. I'm so excited. I have no idea who plays or when. So at 1:00 in about 45 minutes, Tom DeGrossi, this guy. Yeah, he's pretty funny.
DJ, not a single fumble.
So in 45 minutes, the Washington Commanders will take on the New York Giants. Game preview.
Welcome back into Spotlight. So Russell Wilson is in.
Oh, stop. No.
Is someone getting married for this one? New York.
Oh, I probably get a copyright strike if I play this. But basically, yeah. So this team, the team in the burgundy and the gold, that's my team. Been my team for, literally some of the oldest memories I have are of watching this team play. Like, I can remember being in like kindergarten, like I basically probably right around 6 years old, 5 to 6 years old. I can remember my mom, because football is mostly a Sunday thing, right? It starts in the fall. It always starts right like the first couple weeks of September, and then it goes. It used to end in January, but now like it goes for a little bit longer, of course, because they make more money. So the season's a little bit longer. But I can remember being really young and on a Sunday just watching football while my mom, which I realize now, my mom was in bed hungover. Like, she would be like, I'm sick. She would tell me like, I don't feel well, I'm really sick. But now I looking back on it, I realized that she was just hungover. But I can remember her getting up and making me breakfast, and then just, and then I'd watch cartoons, and then she'd make me lunch. And then by the time it was lunchtime, the football game was on, and I'd just sit there and just watch football while my mom just slept in the bedroom because she was hungover. But seriously, like, some of my oldest memories are of watching the Washington Redskins play. Now so the blue team is the Giants, and this burgundy and gold team, that's my Redskins. Although they've gone through several name changes. For 50, 60 years, they were the Washington Redskins. But then, around 2019, that was like, it's the same. A bunch of Karens, we'll just call it what it is. A bunch of Karens started complaining that the name was racist. And eventually, after enough public pressure, the owner was like, okay, we're going to change the name. So then they changed it to, they couldn't come up with a permanent name. And so they changed it to what I thought was the best name, and still think is the best name. And that is the Washington Football Team. I think I mentioned this the other night, but I love that name because, again, there is no question what it is. The Washington Football Team. I am a fan of the Washington Football Team. I love that name. So they had the name Washington Football Team for like I think it was 2 seasons. It might have been 3, but I think it was 2 seasons. And then recently, I think 2 seasons ago, this is maybe their third season with the new name. They changed it to the Washington Commanders, which nobody really likes, but like, honestly, I think they should have stuck with Washington Football Team. I thought beautiful name. Matthew says, yeah, straight to the point. Yeah, no question as to what it was. Washington Football Team. Boom. So anyway, so let me see. NFL division. So the seasons, there's only been 2 games so far this season. Like 2 games in the entire, like, of all the teams. because they do it on a weekly basis. So they have Thursday night, like before it just used to be Sunday and Monday. Well, long ago, it used to be just Sunday, but they've started spreading it out. So now they have Thursday night games. They have Sunday games. They have games all day Sunday. And then they have, so the first games on Sunday start at 1 p.m. my time. And then they have another round of games at 4 p.m. And then they have one like primetime game. Although I think at the beginning of the season, they have 2 primetime games. But anyway, the first game of a week is always on a Thursday. And so this past Thursday, that was the first game, which I watched a little bit of. It was the Eagles versus the Cowboys, and the Eagles won, the Cowboys lost. And then Friday, the Kansas City Chiefs, they played, I think, the Chargers. And then but today is like really the big day. It's like where like now you have like literally like 12 teams, 12, 14, however many teams it is, all playing today at 1 o'clock. And then you have a smaller number of teams playing at 4. And then later on tonight, you'll have others. And then tomorrow night, there'll be a Monday night game. Anyway, that's a lot to just say that football starts. I'm excited. My Washington Commanders. So you see here how they have divisions, which I'm sure they have, like, I'm sure it's very similar with certain soccer leagues. But so my team, they're playing a division rival. So here at NFC East, that is the division that my team, the Redskins, are part of, and they're playing the Giants. And as you can see, the record is 1-0, loss 0. And that's because, like I said, this is the first week. So I am super pumped. I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna preheat the oven. I'm gonna put my DiGiorno pizza in. I'm gonna pig out. I'm gonna sit on the couch and I'm gonna watch. The Commanders last year, they did really well. They got to the. So obviously, I'm sure you've heard of the Super Bowl, which of course is the championship for the NFL, and they got to one game before the Super Bowl. They were eliminated in the playoff game before the Super Bowl. But the amazing thing is they got that far into the season. They got to the playoff, not just to the playoffs. They got to the playoff game. That is the game before the Super Bowl. Whereas the previous season, out of 17 games, I think there's 17 games in the season. So the previous season, out of 17 games, they won like 4. So for years, they were a terrible team. And then last year, they get a new quarterback, and they almost made it to the Super Bowl in like 1 year. So there's a lot of anticipation. I'm a little nervous because I'm like, okay, well, I hope that last season wasn't like a fluke, right? Because that's quite possible. It's quite possible that it was a fluke, and now they're gonna be terrible. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. Matthew says, over here we call it rugby. Rugby. You know, rugby looks interesting. I've always wanted to learn the rules of rugby because you can see how football comes from rugby. But yeah, okay. So back to this. Gotta stay focused. Stay focused. Okay, list could not be found. Drawer Interactable does not implement interface member interactable interactions. But Drawer Interactable should be an item entity, though. So I'm going to watch the football game. I will probably come back on after the football game. Game entity. Item interactable. Oh, wait. No. It should be item entity. So wait, I have character entity, item entity. So it's basically... Right, so up at the top, You have game entity. Oh God, never mind. But you see what I'm saying? So then, yeah. So I put this on item entity, and then I also put it on character entity. But if it's an item entity, it's automatically interactable. I don't know if I like that, but let's just go with it for now. Lamp interface. Okay, so now it's a similar, I think it's a similar situation here. So we'll make this item entity. And lamp, well, I was going to say lamp is a good use case because you shouldn't be able to pick it up, but you should be able to pick it up. Okay, item entity. Item entity does not implement. Yeah, it does. Does not implement interactable interactions. It's right there. It's right there. Do I need to do something like this? Apparently I do. But isn't that implicit? Like, if I don't have the get, isn't it implicit that I have a get? Okay. Item data does not contain a definition for is equipable. Yes, you do. Unless I spelled it wrong. Let me see. Item data. Equipable. It's just equipable. Okay. And then storable. Well, that's new. What's this about? Did Unity crash? I think it did. That might be my cue, boys. That might be my cue to go downstairs because I got to use the bathroom. I want to get my pizza started. Football's going to be... Matthew, watch the game. Washington Commanders. And then... Yeah, Washington Commanders and the Dallas... Not the Dallas Cowboys. Washington Commanders and the New York Giants. I'm getting distracted now. Project is already open. Got it. Okay, so let's see if it opens. Okay. So I'm going to ignore all those errors for now. Okay. I still get hover text. I still get a menu. Okay, I did not get the interaction menu I was expecting with the pistol, but let's clear this. Let's rerun. Let's see if we still get all those errors. Object reference. Okay, what is this? Item entity. Really? probably because I'm in the constructor. I'm going to move this. I'm going to move this to start. Well, first of all, also, but the question is also, when does item data get set? I think I took that for granted, assuming that it just got set. But let's see if, just for giggles, let's move it. Let's move this to start just to see. But regardless of the case, it's not that difficult of an error. Okay. No. Okay, so I need to dig in. I need to figure out when item data gets set and why it's not getting set. I don't recall offhand why it doesn't get set. So I'm going to actually stage awe. This refactor is coming along nicely by the look of it. Thanks. I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not. Okay, this is... Okay, I'm going to do this. Broken check-in. Item data is not set inside the item entity. Yeah. Class. I'm doing this because I think I'm probably going to work on this downstairs on the laptop while I'm watching the game. All right, boys. Well, thanks for joining. I may be back later. I might after the game. I'm going to take him out on a WALK. I should probably shower at some point because I'm pretty stinky. And then like I went on a run, and then I was like, I'll shower before the game, but then I started streaming, so now I don't have time to shower. But yeah, I'll be back probably later on, probably around 5, 6 o'clock my time. Hopefully you'll be around, Matthew, and anybody else. Hopefully you'll be around as well. Have a great afternoon, and I'll see you then. All right, bye everybody.